Hello everybody, it's TMOG 217. Welcome to a Star Wars action figure unboxing and review. Taking a look at Star Wars The Clone Wars ARC Trooper Echo action figure that is part of the vintage collection of Star Wars action figures. It's basically a lineup of Star Wars action figures that are 3.75 inch tall, and I don't know, it's by Hasbro and Disney. And it has Kenner, which I think the old Kenner action figures used to have this, and they were, the figures were what I called stiff figures, like they had stiff arms and legs, you know. But this doesn't appear to be the case. It's just the packaging that looks similar. But I love that box art right there of Echo. It just looks amazing. Now, for what the vintage collection is, according to a quick Google search, it says it's a Star Wars basic action figures toy line produced by the Hasbro company and released under their Kenner brand. The line features modern, super articulated figures in product packaging nearly identical to that of the original Kenner toy series, marketed from 1978 until 1984. So that's basically what vintage collection is: modern action figures with old-fashioned packaging, which, not gonna lie, it's simple enough for packaging. It looks pretty good. Does advertise some on the back for some other action figures. I might be doing some. This might be a thing I might be getting into on the side. Who knows? As for the retail price, I can only tell you the Canadian version. I paid $20 basically Canadian was what the retail price was, plus tax. So, yeah. And this did release in late 2021. So, yeah. With that information out of the way, let's get right into opening this figure. So, yeah, I'm hoping I can open this in a way where I can keep the packaging, because you guys know me, I like my packaging if the box art looks nice. So, okay, I managed to cut it away. You gotta see, I didn't do it quite perfectly. It was really well glued on there. Oh, come on. Ah! That's what it looks like on the back. So taking this figure out now. What the heck. Let's just... There. That's what the cardboard looks like on the back. I tried to keep it in as pristine as possible. At least got the artwork looking good, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, taking this figure out now. Oh, wow. Got a little piece of paper. Sweet. Well packaged. Alright. Enough messing around. Let's get him out of here. Alright, out of box, here is ARC Trooper Echo equipped with all of his equipment, and I want to say that the painting and the sculpting on this figure is impressive. Definitely a step up from the old action figures I used to collect back in like 2008. Definitely a step up. The quality just feels overall nice. It looks like an overall impressive action figure. I don't really have too many complaints. I mean, like, there are, to be fair, there is a few not fully painted areas right there, but that's fine. This is just a $20 figure. It's nothing like you're forking out $100 or something like that on an action figure. My copy did come with a little weird molded leg patch thingy, kneecap, whatever you want to call that. But overall, this figure looks amazing. I am very happy by the looks of it. It does have some weapons storage on the back there for a DC-15 blaster rifle, and it just plugs in right there using the ammo pack. That's just brilliant. Excellent weapons storage. The shoulder pauldron and backpack are a one piece, and you can see it's kind of movable right there. DC-15 blaster rifle fits perfectly into Echo's hands. You cannot put that on the back of the backpack, so you kind of just have to have them displayed like this, or just throw away the blaster rifle. But be very careful handling this. This feels like a very fragile material used for the blaster. I feel like you could easily snap this in half. It feels that, I don't want to say cheap, but it's the first word that comes to mind. So be very careful with this. And with that DC-15 blaster rifle, you can also fit that into his hands like so. It's a little bit of a pain. You got to readjust the arms a little bit, but that is what he looks like holding that. Again, looks amazing. Don't really have too many complaints with that. As for the posability of this figure, his arms are on some ratchet joints at the top there, and they can go about up that far. You can turn around, but it is a bit of a tight turn. And as for the elbows, they can turn all around that far. It's, again, ratchet joint, move that far. And the hands, they're kind of already positioned in a trigger finger mode, and that's to show off for the use of his other weapons, which we'll look at later. And you can also pose the hands, like tilt them forward, like put them down that far and about as up that far. And both arms are differently molded, which looks amazing, again, along with the painting. So, same thing goes to the other side of the arm. It has a trigger finger and can go down that far as well as up that far. So, pretty cool. And again, tight joint right there, but you can position it like that. As for the legs, he does have ankle pivot. That's a first. Love that ankle pivot. That's amazing. So you can get him in some pretty cool poses, I'm sure. If the legs could actually move forward, I'm not kidding. This figure will not have its legs move forward. It's kind of like fixed in place. Definitely some lost points for me personally. Like, it takes away from the posability, but I think that's just to prevent the injury of the skirt piece. That is a rubber material, unfortunately. But at least his legs can bend. Yippee! How are you supposed to really... I don't know. I can't really see how you can articulate this figure when all you can do is that, basically, with his legs. Like, you can't move it forward. A little disappointed about that, but that's alright, I guess. I don't know. He does have a swivel at the waist, so swivel that as much as you want. Oh, there pops up one of the other weapons, which we'll have a look at right now. So he does have some DC-17 blaster rifles that can fit into the rubber molded holders. So you just take those out and you place them into the figure's hand on both sides, because he comes with two of them, as you can see right there. And you can get him into a pose, I guess. Here, let me see if I can get him into one. That's literally the best I could do with his legs. I'm not kidding. You can not really move his legs that well. It's a pain. It really is. Like, why even bother having the posability in the ankles and whatnot if you can't move the legs? Ugh. But yeah, that's pretty much the pose you can get him into, I guess. There's not much posability for him, which is a shame. I know I keep bringing that up, but yeah. Well, I mean, like, you kind of get a spread on his legs, but I personally, like, yeah, you can split the legs that far. Only on one leg, because it feels like you're going to rip the rubber material then. Blasters don't necessarily fit into his hands perfectly, but they fit in good enough to get the point across. Now, moving on to the helmet. You can see the back of it right there. It's kind of got a phase 2 look to it. Looks really good. And of course, ball joint at the top, which can be a swivel, 360 degrees. Oh, and also the rangefinder can flip down, so you can recreate that one scene where he goes kablooey. Something like that. And that helmet is removable, revealing the facial print, or just the head mold. And that looks amazingly sculpted. One issue you will have over the years if you keep removing the helmet is the painting on the hair will fade. You can kind of see it already happening. Already out of box, it's happening. That's a shame. And that's just mainly due to the friction of the inside of the helmet. It's so close to it, so that's a shame. You can kind of see not fully painted on the neck. That's unfortunate. And I don't really want to try to take off the head to show you guys the armor, but just, yeah. Also, handprint right there on the armor, but lifting it up, you can see that there's no printing or whatever underneath the armor. So, same thing goes to the back. Oh, wow, you can really lift that one up. Okay, cool. But I don't know. I don't like that this is the shoulder armor is very movable. I wish it would just be fixed in place, honestly. I don't know. It just seems a little weird and lackluster, I guess. I don't know. But that head feels a little too loose. I think it could use a little bit of a tighter ball joint in order to not be so loose, because I'm not kidding. This feels very, very loose. But yeah, helmet just goes back on there. I wonder, you could probably get him to pose it so that it's underneath his arm. That's normally one thing I used to love to do with my old action figures. So let's see here. Yes, you can. You could get him to hold his helmet and one under his arm. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I guess we'll just cut to my final thoughts on this figure out of box, and yeah. By the way, for those wondering, a little piece of paper is just a warning choking hazard in different languages. Just to let you guys know, for those who are curious. Now on to our final thoughts. Overall, the playability and the functionality of this figure does feel a little limited in terms of the legs. I really wish that this probably would have been a fabric cloth cape or whatever. Just could have made the legs a little bit more poseable, or just like the ratchet joint that's used at the legs could have been different. So that way you can actually pose it. I find it's very hard to pose this figure, and that kind of limits the playability for it. Figure does feel a little fragile, I'll admit, but then again, this is meant to be a collectible. It's not necessarily meant to be a toy, I guess. But still, the inner kid in me wishes that there was more playability in this. And if you're wondering what this guy looks like scaled to an old 2008 action figure, there you go. Just old Captain Rex. Definitely fitting if you want to add this guy to your old action figure collection. But for $20, I don't know. I feel like the painting could have been a bit better. I definitely think that it was an issue that they could fix with the legs. But other than that, pick this figure up, I'd say. It's pretty darn cool. Or, I don't know, you could fork out $50+ to get the larger one, part of the Black Series lineup, shown right there. But, yeah, it's an okay figure. Glad to have it in my collection. But, yeah. Anyway, those are more or less my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this review, consider leaving a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, hit that bell notification. It'd be very much appreciated. And, yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in a future video. Till then, see you later. Bye.